Hi, I'm Ingrid Darragh, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you some of my top tips on affirmations. So you will have seen in some of my other videos the power of the subconscious mind, the power of mind movies, and affirmations is a great way that we can harness that 80% of the brain, the subconscious brain, that many people don't really know and understand the full power of that. And if you haven't seen my video on that, then do go and check it out. So an affirmation is a declaration that something is true. So we say it as we're saying it in the present tense. Okay, so it might be something that we want to have in the future that hasn't happened yet, but what we do is we put our attention on the present tense as if it is actually happening now. Okay, and there has been research that has shown that the brain does not know the difference between something that is actually happening around us in our physical reality and something that we are actually making a mind movie about or an affirmation about. The brain doesn't know the difference. So we can use things like mind movies and affirmations to actually train the subconscious mind, and that actually can help to prepare whatever that is to come into our lives. Okay, so affirmations are always said in the positive, and you'll see from my other videos that we don't really want to be focusing on the negative side of things because that's imprinting our brain with a negative thought, which is the opposite of what we want. So we want to be using positive wording. Okay, so what we do then is we are visualizing it, we are imagining that it's already happening, and we are imagining what that feels like. What does that feel like in the body for that to be happening? Okay, so some of my favorite affirmations, and I will do another video on specific affirmations, maybe for health, for abundance, for love, etc. I'll do some individual ones, so you can watch out for those coming as well. So some of my favorite ones, well, I have to quote the Queen of Affirmations, Louise L. Hay, and if you haven't already checked out her books, please do go and check them out. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. Hay. One of her affirmations was, I love and approve of myself. And we use that statement very similar to that in EFT tapping. So you'll notice that in my videos where I'm doing some EFT tapping. Another one that I really like is, all is well in my world. All is well in my world. When I was going through a period of ill health, one of the ones that I loved to use then was, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. I have all the energy that I need to do everything that I need to do today. And that was not true for me. I was very, very ill at the time. But I trained my mind, I put my attention on that. I wrote my affirmations on Post-its, I wrote them out, I printed them out on bits of paper, I put them up all around the house. They were on my fridge, they were on the wall in my study where I was studying at the time, they were beside my bed, they were across the room on the wall, so that when I would get up in the morning, that was my Post-it on the door, actually on my bedroom door. It was the first thing I would see when I opened my eyes to remind me that I am in charge and I get to decide what I put my attention on. And don't get me wrong, there were times that that was not easy for me, especially when I was very ill, but those Post-its up around the house really helped to remind me, hang on a minute, whatever's going on around me, I still get to choose what I put my attention on. For instance, one of the hospital visits and checkups that I had to go and have done at that time, I had to have an MRI brain scan. So some of you maybe have had CT scans, MRI scans, PET scans, etc. If you've had to go through something like that, you'll know what it's like, but it's not a very pleasant experience. So I was lying on this sort of plinth thing, and then I was in this big machine, and I had to lie there and try to stay still for, I can't even remember, I think it was like maybe 30 or 40 minutes. And then at one stage I had to have an injection into my arm of whatever that was, like a coloured dye that would go through the veins, go through the blood to show up the different parts of the brain and the areas where the doctors wanted to focus on and to check on what was going on there so that I could get a proper diagnosis and treatment. So it was a pretty scary and pretty unpleasant experience for me at the time, to be honest. I didn't have a diagnosis. We didn't know exactly what was going on there. We didn't know if it was, how bad it was. We didn't know if it was critical, you know, didn't know if it would require surgery. There was so much that was unknown. But I knew about the power of the subconscious brain, and I knew that I could focus on my affirmations. So rather than staying in a fear thought pattern, I could actually change that around to say, you know, I am grateful to be here in this hospital. I am grateful to have this state-of-the-art technology that can actually take a picture of my brain to see what's going on there, to help me to know what I need to do to heal. So while I was having the scan done, I was making mind movies. So I was actually imagining that I was walking along my favorite beach. Okay, and I live in Northern Ireland, and we have some really beautiful beaches on the north coast here at Portrush and Portstewart. So I was walking on the beach and I was using all of my senses. So I was imagining that I was walking barefoot. I could feel the sand between my toes. I could smell the sea air. I could hear seagulls flying overhead. And I really immersed myself in that visualization, in that feeling. And I even brought in my sense of hearing and my sense of smell. So while I was in that machine having scans done, I was actually walking along a beach in my mind, and I was making a mind movie. And the power of the subconscious brain is such that my brain, my mind, really did not know the difference. And it took a lot of the stress out of it for me. It took a lot of the stress out of it for me. And, you know, practicing this, it gets easier with time. And it's something that anybody can do and anybody can learn. So I just really wanted to share that, the power of what we want to put our attention on, the power of the mind movies, and the power of the affirmations. So have a look at how you would like to word your affirmation. One way of doing this is having a look at what you don't like in your life and maybe making a list on the left hand side of a page. What do I not like in my life at the moment, and make a list. And then on the other side of the page, beside each one, you can write down what I want instead. Okay? And then write it in the as if it has already happened, in the present state, the present time, and that you're giving thanks for it. All right? So say for instance it's about your work. You could use the affirmation, I do work that I love. I work with people that I love and respect. I am earning a good income doing work that I love. So those would be a few of the sort of ones that you could use. One of my favorites as well that I love to put on my vision boards is I feel so happy, content, and at peace. I feel so happy, content, and at peace. So spend some time with that and write out your affirmations. I will share some more tips about affirmations, and I will share some ways where you can take it further and actually kind of charge them up and amplify them. So you can watch out for that video that'll be coming out soon. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing my videos. Thank you for subscribing. To find out more about my work, just go on over to my website, which is ingriddarragh.com. You'll get information on there about my coaching services, about my online courses, and do connect with me on social media and let me know how these tips are going for you. I would love to hear from you and hear how you're getting on with that. Sending you lots of love and blessings and peace.